for those who are out of school,
Oh.
who have decided to drop out, so that,
I
we need to look at, maybe that might be the carrot that keeps them in school.
I see. Now, running for this office, what legislation would you compose to help some of the problems in the city of Flint? And I guess maybe I should take a step back. What is the main issue that you feel is plaguing the city at this point?
Wow. Economics, obviously, and that includes many aspects, whether it be the lack of jobs, the mortgage crisis. Economics drives many of the things that can be good for a community or bad for a community. The city of Flint has really been, for lack of a better word, the city of Flint has really been raped in the sense that we do not have the economic ability to sustain ourselves. Our factories have been closed, and we are a community, the city of Flint, of over 100,000 people. Genesee County has a population of over 400,000 people. We've seen companies like Walmart move into our community. There are 5 Walmarts in Genesee County. Not one of them are located in the city of Flint. We have about 25% of the population in the county, and not one of those stores are in Flint. We need to look at, on the legislative end of stopping the urban sprawl, trying to get people to move back to our communities, and trying to make investment in the communities a thing that businesses want to do.
Well, how do you propose that we do that? This is another question that I asked another one of our candidates. There has been proposal, because this was an industrial town with the GM boom that left. Now we want to look at the college town aspect of it. What industries do you think could spark up the economy here? What should we focus on?
Alternative fuels, alternative energy, whether it be, there's a lot of controversy on biodiesel and things of that nature, but you can look at wind, solar. The technology is almost there to where when one replaces their roof, they can go with solar panels instead of the old shingle type roof, where it's cost effective and actually use that solar energy to heat and power a good majority of your home.
Okay. A lot of people feel like Flint is unique in their problems. How do you think it compares to other cities within the state?
Flint is unique in some of its problems. Obviously, any urban setting, any urban community such as Flint will have similar problems as, say, a Detroit. Our problems are smaller in the sense, obviously, we have fewer people and smaller geographical area. But Flint's problems now have been because of the downturn in the auto industry. I say downturn, the downsizing also. So we're getting hit on both aspects of that. And then as we look at the real estate market, not only is there the mortgage crisis going on, but then we have a credit crisis. And then thirdly, in addition to the buyouts at General Motors, it has put many more homes onto the market that would not have been on the market at this time. So we have people with 26 years taking a buyout, and actually we have those homes coming onto the market from people who have 26, 27, 28, and 29 years. It's flooding the market at one time. So it's becoming very difficult for people to sell their homes, and many want to retire, move back down south where they originally came from, or up north, or out west.
Okay. Well, we'll get right back to these issues here about what's plaguing our city. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Anybody out there? This isn't right. Somebody just tell me what I did, please. Somebody just tell me. Gosh, just talk to somebody. Let me go.
Marcus, how's it going? Oh, it's a letter for Nick. Maybe she wants us to give it to her. Nick, read it, read it. Read it, 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 read it.
Hey, I think you dropped this.
Welcome back to Meet the Candidate Show. Again, I am your host, Kesha Hoey, and in our studios we have Chris Delmorone, 34th District State Representative candidate. Before we took a break, we were talking about the issues that are plaguing our city and that are not necessarily unique. You stated that there were some specific problems that were unique to us, but not all of them are. You going into this candidacy, going to Lansing, how do you feel that Lansing is going to help our city?
Well, one of the ways that Lansing can help our cities is to give us more of a heads up as to the amount of money which will be sent to Flint, whether it be for our school systems or other type of revenue sharing. Last year in 2007, we experienced a thing where the single business tax was eliminated, and then they didn't know how to tax businesses, and then they came up with a plan to do it. We actually had a temporary shutdown of government in Lansing. It was a very short shutdown, but nonetheless it was a shutdown. And eventually they came up with something else in regards to how businesses would be taxed. And then they moved on and thought, well, maybe we need something else different. So if they can get a handle on a budget, set it up earlier, it would give our school, especially our schools, and also our businesses a measure in which to plan their future for at least the next year.
Okay. No, we've been focusing on the city. Being in the state legislature, you're going to be hopefully helping out the state.
Oh, absolutely.
What problems do you foresee, or what problems do you see that are plaguing the state as a whole?
Well, I don't know if it's actually plaguing the states. One of the problems that we need to deal with is our water, our fresh water in the Great Lakes. We need to get legislation passed. We need to have legislation introduced and passed, which will help protect our Great Lakes. Other states have passed their legislation. They're kind of waiting for Michigan to get on board. So we need to do that to protect our Great Lakes, to protect our environment. Another issue that I'm sure will come up during the next 2 years will be a bottle deposit law in regards to water bottles and juice bottles, which right now there is not a deposit on those things. So those would be two things